Hello, I'm Steve Horwitz. I'm the instructor for the section of Econ 116, Survey of Economic Ideas. This introductory video sort of goes through the basic requirements of the course. It's basically a walk through the syllabus, explaining some of those things in a little bit more detail. And you should, the very first thing that you should do after watching this video, if you haven't done so already, is to read the syllabus. Everything you need to know is in there, and that is our agreement, our contract for the semester. So let me start with a couple of things. First of all, you might notice in the background, in fact, you can see right now, my very furry 46-pound research assistant sometimes appears in my videos for this class. So his name's Panda. He's adorable, but don't get too caught up with the dog. The other thing I'll say is you watch the videos for this class. They've been recorded over a number of, really over now a couple of years. And sometimes I have a beard, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm wearing these glasses, sometimes I'm wearing another pair of glasses. It's kind of a weird back and forth of all those things. And that leads me to explain, I think, the first and most important thing, why I'm teaching this course online, because it's important for you to understand in terms of the experience you'll have this semester. The reason that we're online is that in November of 2017, I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. It's a plasma cancer. It's treatable, obviously. It's 2+ years later, and I'm still here, but it's not curable. And so a couple of things. It means that I'm sort of kind of constantly in and out of various kinds of treatments, whether it's chemotherapy or immunotherapy or other sorts of things, trying to keep the cancer under control and extend my life as far as we can. What you need to understand is, at least now, January 2nd, I'm not in any immediate danger. You can see I'm healthy and talking and doing all those things. The one thing about this semester in particular, though, is it's not clear yet, as of January 2nd, exactly what my treatment's going to look like over the course of this semester. And so there's just no way we could have an in-class experience, because I might have to miss class for significant periods of time, wouldn't be able to physically be there. The good thing is that so far I've taught this class online while dealing with the cancer and the treatments, and have had no problem, even while I'm in hospital or wherever, keeping up via computer. The big thing is it means office hours are a challenge. I do like to try to have some physical office hours when I can, but I can't schedule them because, again, I just don't know. So as I say in the syllabus, I'll try to let you know via email when I'm able to be on campus and for physical office hours. That said, the absolute best way to get in touch with me if you have questions is through email. I'm also, again, if at all possible, I'm very willing to do office hours via Skype or Google Hangouts. I'm not an Apple guy, so I can't do FaceTime, but the others work just fine. I've done that with students over the past several semesters who've had questions or other things. So not a problem if that's what you would like to do. So again, read the syllabus. 2 things you have to buy for this course. One is the textbook, The Economic Way of Thinking by Hain, Becky, and Pacheco. 13th edition, please. There are a number of editions out there. You want the 13th. There are tons of used copies of the book out there. You should be able to get it cheap. If you can find an electronic copy, that's great. Just don't get a Kindle copy, because it often doesn't have the graphs and things like that are really important. To be honest, I think you should be able to find this book reasonably priced used, and that's all you need. I strongly recommend the physical book or a PDF that's an exact replica of the book itself. The other thing you'll need to buy is a subscription to Packback, which is the discussion forum software we'll be using. There's more information about that elsewhere in this course introduction module. There's a PowerPoint, and then there's also a Word document that explains it in more detail. You have to buy it. It's $25. It's not that expensive. And this is a required part of the course, the way you'll engage in class discussion. There's more about that in the materials. I think it's fairly straightforward to use. I used it last semester. I learned some things, and we'll do some things differently this semester. I'll talk a little bit more about it in a few minutes when I talk about all the various course requirements. So again, textbook and Packback are the 2 things that you need to buy. Let me just talk a bit about how the course is organized. If you're already on Canvas watching this, you probably have noticed it, but it's pretty straightforward. There are 15 chapters in the Economic Way of Thinking textbook. There's 15 weeks in the semester. We're going to cover one every semester. And each of those chapters is in a module in Canvas. Each of those modules is set to open up at 8 a.m. on Monday morning. So on Monday, January 6th, you'll be able to access chapter 1. And then every Monday after that, except for spring break, of course, you'll have another one of those to access. When you open those, you'll find that they all kind of are organized the same way. The first thing you need to do, obviously, is read the chapter. So for the first week of class on starting on January 6th, read chapter 1 of the Economic Way of Thinking. But in addition to reading the chapter, there's a couple other things there. There is a PowerPoint. It's the same PowerPoint I would use if we were teaching in a physical classroom. You can certainly go through that. In fact, I think it's a good idea to have the PowerPoint open as you read through the chapter, perhaps, or at least do it immediately after reading the chapter. In addition to PowerPoint, each module has one, sometimes two videos of me doing exactly what I'm doing right now, but going through the material, some of the material from that chapter. I don't cover everything. I cover the material I think benefits the most from hearing me explain it. I have a little whiteboard I sometimes hold up too. So doing those kind of things. But you are responsible for all of the material in the chapter, not just those that are covered in my videos. In addition to my own videos, there are links to supplemental videos, sometimes a short supplemental reading. Those are required as well. Those are fair game for class discussion. Those are fair game for exams and quizzes and the like. So please make sure you watch those. In addition to all of that, there's the expectation that you'll participate in the conversation on Packback. Again, as I said, there's more about that in the handout, but the key thing I want to see from you is one question posed on Packback every week and one response to, at least one response to someone else's question posed on Canvas every week. If you do more questions or more responses, you'll rack up more Packback points and you'll get a much better grade. And I don't have any problem assigning some people a grade over 100 for Packback if you really, really do a good job. And I should note also the way I'll grade that is every 4 weeks I'll go through, I'll look at the score that Packback assigns you, I'll look through the questions and responses and add my own judgment to those about the quality of the work that you're doing, and you'll get a score between 0 and 100, just like you would do it on any other assignment. That'll appear in Canvas. That'll be your Packback score for those 4 weeks, then the next 4 weeks, and then the final 3 weeks. At the end of the semester, I'll average those scores out over the full 15 weeks, and you'll get a score from 0 to 100. I should note, if you do take a week off of Packback, you can make that up by doing more in another week. But I really would like to see kind of consistent every week participation from everyone. In addition to all of that, each chapter has some optional homework questions that go with it. Those are listed in the syllabus, and I believe also in each of the modules on that sort of first page in the module. There's 3 of them. If you choose to do those, they're optional. If you choose to do those, you can send them to me via email. Best way is a Word attachment, or I'm okay with you doing it in the body of the email, but preferably as a Word attachment. Send those to me by 4 o'clock every Sunday. In other words, at the end of the week that chapter module is open. If you do those, those will count towards your class participation grade. They're optional. Every week, Sunday at 5 o'clock, the answers to the homework appear on Canvas. And anyone, even if you didn't do the questions, obviously you can look at those, but use those for a studying tool. My sense over the times I've been teaching this course and teaching it online is that people who do the optional homework get better grades. So it's up to you. It's a way to, again, improve your class participation grade. There's also a few weeks that have an optional sort of worksheet type thing. Again, same sort of deal. You can do it and turn it in via Canvas by Sunday, 4 o'clock. The answers will come up at 5 o'clock. And if you do that, those I just grade on sort of like the homework, like the optional homework on a 1 or 0, you did it or you didn't thing. And those optional worksheets count towards your class participation as well, grade as well. And in general, I'll talk more about class participation in a moment. But those are the things you'll see when you open up each of those modules every week. Again, I think it's pretty clear and students don't seem to have a problem sorting it all out. So how will you be graded in this course? As I've sort of already suggested, there are really the following things that count towards your grade. There will be 3 exams during the course of the semester that cover approximately 4 chapters in the textbook each. Those are worth 17% each of your grade for 3 of them. It makes a total of 51%. In addition, there will be a final exam that's worth a little bit more, 22%. It covers both the last 3 weeks of the semester, and it will also ask you questions from earlier in the semester. The way I would describe it is about half to 60% focused on the last few weeks, and then the remaining 40% or so is a kind of cumulative final. The questions from earlier in the semester are not, picky things. They're pretty big and obvious things that you should know by the end of a semester, having taken a semester of this course. So 3 in-semester exams, 1 final exam. The pack-back participation is worth 12%, as I noted. Class participation is worth 5%. Class participation includes, again, doing the optional homework, the optional worksheets. If you engage in what I would call office hours of any kind, which is physical office hours, or you Skype or whatever, or if you are emailing me substantive questions about the course, that counts. I also will open up a discussion forum on Canvas that you can use for general questions about the class. That's separate from Packback. So again, participating in any of those things gives you points towards class participation. I know it's sort of a weird thing in an online class, but it shows me your level of engagement, and I want to be able to reward that. In addition to all that, there's one more thing, one more assignment, and that's what I call the economic way of thinking assignment. The economic way of thinking refers to the approach we'll take during the semester. This is a short paper assignment, less than 1,000 words, that asks you to identify an example of the economic way of thinking out in the world. We'll talk more about that as it gets close. The assignment will appear on Canvas at least a month before, in fact, a couple months before it's due. It'll appear earlier in the semester because I'm happy to have you do it early and turn it in early. It's something you can do once we've kind of got through the first few weeks of the semester if you see some good examples that you might like to use. So that's worth 10% of your grade, the economic way of thinking paper. We'll talk much more about that later on. Let me also explain how the grades are potentially curved in this course. Historically, this course has had about a C average. And if the exams on, say, the first exam don't average out to a C on the scale that's listed in the syllabus, that's fine. I'll adjust for that, right? What I'll do is 2 things. First, I'll send out an email that sort of talks about the exam results. And I'll try to give you an indication of where your score on the 100-point scale would fall on the A, B, C, D, E, F scale if I curved the specific exam. What I actually do is wait till the end of the semester when all the grades are in and then apply the curve to that. This means a couple things. First of all, don't look at the Canvas grade and think that's your grade. It will get curved. Sometimes Canvas doesn't do exactly what I want it to do with grades. If you're concerned about your grade, please just email me and I will give you as much information as I possibly can about where you stand in the course, as precisely as I can, and what you need to do on the future assignments. I'm happy to do that. But don't be panicked by your Canvas grade, right? There will be a curve if the grades indicate it. So please, know that, and don't hesitate to ask me if you have any questions at all about your grades for the course. This has been confusing to students in the past, and I think because I haven't really explained it very well up front. So there's the explanation. It's also in the syllabus. Don't hesitate to ask if you have questions. A couple other important things to note. First of all, the best way to get in touch with me is through email. Please pay attention to your Canvas email. It's the easiest way to write to all of you at the same time. That's the primary way I provide information about the course. Sometimes I use announcements in Canvas, but usually it's email. So please look at that. The fact, if you tell me, well, I didn't know, and I know I sent an email, it's not a valid excuse. It's your responsibility to look at your email. Also, when you email me, please either use the Canvas email, which is fine. It's a little clunky and weird, but it's fine. Or your BSU email. Please don't email me from your Hotmail, your Gmail, or your AOL, or whatever, okay? It messes up the organizational system I have to make sure I don't miss your emails. So please, BSU or Canvas, and you can do me a really big favor by in the subject header of the email writing Econ 116. I'm also teaching another different course online, and I don't remember, especially at the beginning of the semester, which student is in which course, and it helps me if you put that in the subject header. So Econ 202, Econ 116, and then whatever the information about the topic is that you're emailing me. That would be most helpful. And make sure your full name appears either in the from of your email or better yet, in the body of the email as well. So, and one last thing about email, it's email, okay? It's the formal way we communicate with each other and that students communicate with faculty. So it's not a text, right? You're not texting me. Secondly, as a general rule, you should address your emails to Professor so-and-so, not Mr., not Ms., and definitely not Miss or Mrs., okay? So play it safe. Dear Professor Horwitz, comma, go from there, okay? It's not high school where it was Mr. and Ms. and all that. It's college now. Professor's the most safe default. Some of us are doctors, some of us aren't, but just use Professor. It will make us happy, and it indicates that you're recognizing the formality of email communication. A couple other things. Extra credit. There is some extra credit available for the course by attending some lectures on campus. My other job on campus is director of the Institute for the Study of Political Economy. For those of you who are not on campus or can't make it for other commitments, there will be an alternative assignment every time there's one of these available. There should be 2 or 3 at least available this semester where you can pick up an extra credit point, add it on to your final grade, final 0 to 100 grade at the end of the semester. They're easy to do, not much time involved, and they help. So please, and plus you'll learn some things too. You get to hear some great speakers this semester as well. Another important thing, I should do this with the requirements for the course. Because we have some actual distant learners, all of the exams in this course will be taken over the web using software called Examity. Let me note for the Ball State resident students, you cannot take these exams in the labs. You have to take them using a computer with a webcam and a microphone in a place that's private, that has no other students in it. You can use your dorm room, that's fine, but you can't have anyone else in the room. You will be proctored in these exams by someone else watching you on webcam. I know it's creepy. If I were a student, I would hate it. As a faculty member, I hate having to put you through this. But here's the thing. It's the only fair and equitable way to treat all of the learners in this class the same way. If it was up to me, I would find a different way. But I'm bound by Ball State rules to do these exams over Examity. We'll talk more about that as the exams get closer. But the thing now is you must have a laptop or desktop computer that has a working microphone and webcam. So please check your technology now. If you don't have that or can't get access to it, you can't take the exams in this course, and frankly, you can't take the course. It is a requirement. Last thing. Too often, the last few times I've taught this course, some students have struggled because they've been dealing with out-of-class issues and sort of let them get bad and worse and didn't do the work in the class and didn't tell me what was going on and then dug themselves a hole they couldn't get out of. So look, if you're struggling with stuff out of class, family, job, personal, whatever, I don't need to know the details. In most cases, I probably don't want to know. Well, but let me know, and let me know as soon as it's becoming a problem. If you had to miss doing pack-back, or if you're not keeping up with the readings, right, let me know. I'm willing to work with you to find alternatives, to find ways to deal with that, to let you solve your problems, but not fail this class. But I can't do that if you don't tell me. So send me an email. Again, I don't need to know the details. That's up to you. But just to let me know that you're struggling and the general contours of the problem, and we'll figure something out. If you let that stuff go, it will kill you academically, and it doesn't have to. By and large, most faculty will listen to you and try to help you. I think that's everything. I hope it's not too much. I hope you enjoy the semester. It's a good course. I'm very comfortable teaching it online. I think Pack-Back is a nice addition to it the last couple semesters. If you have any questions at all, please email me, let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them as quickly as I can. So good luck, Have a fun semester, and I hope you enjoy the course.